Come on by and have a bite at the CrossRoad Diner, the place where your spirit goes when something tells you it might be time to change direction. Hey, everybody. Welcome to CrossRoad Coaching this Monday morning. We're going to cover today a very important but seemingly very simple process for making decisions. You know, the CrossRoad Diner was born based on the idea that you come to places in your life where what you are doing doesn't resonate with you. You're not in the right place. And so you need to come to the right place, and you may have some trouble figuring out what that is. You might not even know exactly what it is that's wrong. There are 4 questions that can help you answer that question. And we're going to go through those right now. And then they're going to expand into some other questions that you might need to know more about and ask about. The first is, what is it that you want? Who is it that you want to be? Now, we've gone through the last couple of months looking at your passion. What is your mission in life? What are you here for? And we've given you some tools to look through that. It starts at episode 32 and works its way forward. You might want to take a look at those. But that critical information is going to help you answer these 4 questions when you come to a decision about anything. And the first is, when you encounter an opportunity or a change opportunity, you need to ask yourself the question, is this something that I truly want to do or to be or to have? And if it's something that you think you need in order to get something else, that's subject to question, and the other questions will help you clarify that. But if you can't answer yes to, is this thing something that you want to do or to be or to have, you have to seriously ask yourself, why are you considering it? So let's say that it is, that this choice you're going to make, this promotion you're going to accept, this job or task or project that you're going to take on, is in fact something that fits in the category of something that you want to do, that you want to become or be, or it's a thing that you want to actually have. Then you go to question 2, but only go to question 2 if you got a yes at answer 1. The second one is doing, being, or having whatever this thing is, or this opportunity is. Is that going to get me closer to who it is that I want to be, my goal? Well, in order to answer that question, you've got to know who you want to be and who your identity needs to be, what your goal is, what your purpose is, what your mission is. So it all kind of comes back to doing that preliminary work of figuring out, is this me? And if something that you're doing now, being or having, is giving you integrity issues, it doesn't feel right, you can examine it and try to figure out where and identify where you want to be. Otherwise, these questions really are not going to be able to serve you. And that may be where you're stuck, is that you can't answer whether or not you really want this. You can't answer whether or not doing or being or having this is going to get you closer to who it is that you want to do and be and have. But let's say that you answer the question 1, yeah, this is something that I want, and it's going to get me closer to who it is that I want to be and the way that I want to live my life. The third question is, does this opportunity follow universal law? That is, does it make more life for everyone and less life for no one? That's a kind of a tricky one. Sometimes you have opportunities that are at the expense of someone else. You really have to take a look at that. Is that really who you want to be? Is that the way that you want to live your life with integrity? These questions were taught to me by one of my mentors, David Nagel, and it's in his book, The Millions Within. David's focus as a coach is on productivity and money. He helps you, figure out how you can achieve the levels of monetary success that you want. And the process is very much the same. It has to start with who you are and what you want. This is apparently old, ancient Aztec structures that these questions that have been around for generations. Funny that we're not taught this in school, isn't it? So you have to have those 3 S's, but there's another question. Is doing or being or having this going to interfere with anyone else's right to do or be or to have? Now, those last 2 questions are really tricky because many times in a competitive society like we have in the Western Hemisphere, doing or being or having something is at someone else's expense, or it gets in the way of their ability and their options. That's not a life of integrity. That's a I win, you lose kind of a thing. And many people believe that that's the way that the world works. I don't choose to work that way. I don't choose to live that way. And I think that if you are going to be satisfied with your life long term, if you're going to get into your 70s and 80s and look back and be satisfied, you're going to have answered the questions of the choices of your life with those 4 questions, 3 yeses and a no. It is something. I have done the things that I wanted to do, wanted to be, have the things I wanted to have. They have gotten me closer to the decision that I've made about who it is that I want to be and how I want to serve the world. It has lifted all the boats. It's been good for everybody, not bad for anybody. And it has not gotten in the way of anybody else making their own choices. So today we just looked at decision questions, a little bit of a tease there. And it all begins with knowing what it is that you want. And what it is that you want is based on who it is that you want to be. CrossRoad Diner coaching is every Monday released. These are even numbered episodes. Odd numbered episodes are released on Thursdays, and they are case studies of people who've come to these crossroads and made decisions. Sometimes they didn't answer those 4 questions correctly, and they later had to make a change. And you'll find those case studies are very, very reflective, possibly of the life that you're living now. So I would urge you, if you have had an interesting life, if you have made some decisions that didn't take you where you wanted to go and you had to shift, send an email to CrossRoad Diner at storymastermedia.com and give me a chance to take a look at your story. We'll communicate. Maybe we will interview you right here on the CrossRoad Diner. And if you're a coach, if you have processes and methods that people need to learn something about and you'd like to introduce our audience to them, reach out to me at CrossRoadDiner at StorymasterMedia.com. And let's see if you might not be a good coach for our Monday morning sessions. So until next Thursday, when we will be taking a look at another case study, this is Steve McCurdy, and see you next time at the CrossRoad Diner. Come on by and have a bite at the CrossRoad Diner, the place where your spirit goes when something tells you it might be time to change direction.